English learners, welcome back to the English Blend.
We have a great topic for you today.
We do. Think about this for a second. Have you ever felt like you know 1,000 words in English, but when you open your mouth to speak, nothing comes out?
That classic feeling.
You know all the ingredients, right? The verbs, the nouns, the grammar rules.
But the moment you try to cook the meal, it turns into a disaster.
Exactly. You're putting word A next to word B, next to word C, one by one.
And you end up speaking like a robot. Very halting.
That's the problem we are tackling today.
And the solution is not to learn more individual words.
Nope. It's all about learning in meaningful groups.
It's about chunking.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mia.
And I'm Leah.
Welcome to the English Blend. We are here to help you practice listening and speaking naturally.
Today, we're going deep into chunking. Learn in phrases, not words.
This is honestly one of the biggest game changers for fluency.
If you switch from single word focus to chunking, you will pick up speed guaranteed.
So grab your coffee, your notebook, and let's dive in.
Exactly. We're ready to get started.
So, Leo, let's start with the definition. What exactly is a chunk in language learning?
Simply put, a chunk is a group of words that naturally go together.
It's one unit of meaning. We treat it as one piece of vocabulary, even though it contains 3 or 4 words.
Think of it like Lego bricks. You can learn the color of every single small brick.
That's learning individual words.
Right, but you can also learn to recognize pre-built structures, like a small car or a window frame.
The car is the chunk. It's ready to use instantly.
We don't construct the phrase word by word anymore. We retrieve the whole chunk from our memory.
Let's take a simple example. If you want to say goodbye to someone at night.
Most learners might try to translate "have a good night" word by word.
But a fluent speaker just pulls out the whole phrase, have a good night.
That phrase is a chunk. It's automatic. We don't pause between have and good.
Another great example is greetings. Instead of just learning how and are and you,
we learn how are you doing or what's up as single vocabulary items.
And if you get a coffee, you don't say, I want 1 large coffee.
You say, can I get a large coffee? That whole opening structure is a functional chunk.
That whole request structure, that's often taught as one piece.
Precisely. Chunking helps us predict what comes next.
It reduces the mental load, right? Your brain isn't calculating grammar in real time.
The cognitive effort drops dramatically.
Think about speed. If you have to choose 10 individual words, that takes 10 choices.
If those 10 words are grouped into 2 chunks of 5 words each,
you only make 2 choices. That's why fluent speech is fast.
It's not because we speak quickly, it's because we think in larger units.
Collocations are the kings of chunking.
Collocations are words that just love to hang out together. They sound right together.
Like heavy rain. You wouldn't say strong rain or big rain, even though they mean similar things.
Native speakers automatically pair heavy with rain. That's a chunk we have stored.
Let's look at some daily routine chunks.
Instead of learning make and bed separately,
we learn make the bed. Instead of wash and dishes,
we learn do the dishes.
See how the verb changes. You do the dishes, but you make the bed. If you learn them as individual words, you might mix up the verbs.
But if you learn the chunk, the verb is locked in place. It's safer and much more effective.
I remember when I first started learning Spanish, I focused so hard on verbs.
A common mistake.
Yes, I knew the conjugation perfectly, but I couldn't string sentences together fast enough. I was mentally translating from English.
That's the word-by-word trap. You focus on structure instead of function.
Once I started writing down whole sentences and short common responses,
you got the hang of it much quicker.
Exactly. I started to pick up speed.
That's the goal for all our listeners. We want you to stop translating and start talking.
Let's talk about one of my favorite types of chunks, functional language. These are phrases we use for very specific tasks, like agreeing with someone. You don't just say, Yes.
You use a chunk like, that's a great point, or I totally agree.
Or disagreeing politely. Not just, no, you are wrong.
You use the chunk, I see your point, but, or I'm not sure about that.
These small phrases instantly make you sound more natural and sophisticated.
And they're predictable. Once you know that opening phrase, the listener knows your intention. Mia, this is a good spot for a mini cultural note.
Tell me.
Chunking is actually how kids learn their first language. They don't start with grammar rules.
They start with memorized phrases like I want or my turn.
Right. They hear the whole phrase and associate the sound with the action or meaning.
It's immersion learning at its best. We as adult learners should try to mimic that natural process.
Stop trying to be a linguist who analyzes every sentence. Start trying to be a user who just uses the language.
I love that. Be a user, not an analyzer.
Let's give our listeners some very common, crucial chunks they should be learning today.
Perfect. Let's focus on phrases that link ideas.
Okay, how about introducing a topic? The chunk is speaking of which.
Yes, use that when something reminds you of a related topic. Example, I was talking about coffee. Speaking of which, have you seen the new coffee shop downtown?
Another crucial one for transitions. On the other hand,
that helps you show contrast. It's much better than just saying, but. Example, I like the color, but on the other hand, it's a little too expensive.
And for concluding something, to wrap things up,
this tells the listener the conversation is ending soon. It manages expectations.
If you learn those three chunks, speaking of which, on the other hand, and to wrap things up, you immediately sound B2 level even if your vocabulary is A2.
That's the power of functional chunks. They glue your thoughts together naturally.
Let's talk about a specific type of chunk that often trips people up. Phrasal verbs.
Oh, the dreaded phrasal verbs.
They are absolutely chunks. You cannot learn the parts separately.
You can't just learn look and up.
Because look up doesn't mean look skyward in conversation. It means find information.
So you learn the whole unit, look up a word.
If you learn them as chunks, they stop being scary. You treat put off, to postpone, as one verb.
That's a key piece of advice for our listeners. When you encounter a phrasal verb, highlight the whole thing in your dictionary or notebook.
Don't just underline the main verb. Highlight the particle too.
This is also where the rhythm comes into play, you know?
What do you mean by rhythm?
When we chunk, we often stress the important word in the phrase, and the small function words like the, of get swallowed up.
They become weak sounds. The listener anticipates the stress pattern.
If you say, I am going to the store, word by word, the rhythm is wrong.
But the fluent chunk is, I'm going to go to the store.
We combine going to into gonna. That's a phonetic chunk.
It flows naturally like a song. And learning the rhythm of the chunk is just as important as learning the meaning.
Okay, so we've convinced everyone that chunking is the way to go.
Hopefully, it's truly a game changer.
Now, let's give them the playbook. What are the practical steps they can start today to shift their focus from words to phrases?
Great idea. Here are our top 4 practical tips for chunking.
The first one is a simple organizational change. Stop creating vocabulary lists of single words.
Throw that list away.
Seriously, start a phrase notebook. When you read something new, don't write down nice or car.
Write down the whole context where you saw it. That's a really nice car.
Or if you learn the verb apologize, don't write just apologize.
Write the chunk. Apologize for being late. This also helps you remember the preposition, for.
When you review your notebook, you are reviewing whole units of communication, not just isolated terms.
And make sure you write down the translation or the simple definition next to the full phrase.
This helps your brain associate the full phrase with the concept.
It's forcing your brain to store the information in chunks from the start.
Tip 2 is all about practice and immersion. We call it listen, highlight, and shadow.
You need to find audio material. Our podcast is perfect for this, wink, wink, or a short video.
Listen to a sentence, pause it, and then look at the transcript or subtitles.
Don't just look for words you don't know. Look for groups of words that seem to belong together. Highlight them. For example, listen to us say, "This is the fastest way to improve."
You might highlight the fastest way to improve. That's a chunk about quality and method.
Once you've highlighted the chunk, you shadow the sentence.
Shadowing means speaking the sentence immediately after the speaker, trying to match the intonation and the speed.
You are forcing your mouth and your brain to produce that sound unit as one piece.
And if you struggle with the rhythm, repeat the chunk 10 times until it feels easy.
Practice makes perfect, right?
Tip 3 involves flashcards, but not for vocabulary. Use them for functional language.
This focuses on those glue phrases we talked about earlier.
On one side of the card, write the function or situation. For example, how to politely interrupt someone.
On the back, you write the chunk. Sorry to interrupt, but, or may I jump in here?
Another function, showing strong enthusiasm.
Backside, that sounds absolutely brilliant.
Use different colors for different functions. Blue for agreement, red for disagreement, green for questions.
This helps you visualize and categorize the chunks based on why you use them, not just what they mean.
Because language is about doing things, not just knowing things.
Precisely. It makes the chunk immediately relevant to a real conversational situation.
Our final practical tip, be selective. Start with the most common chunks first.
Don't try to learn highly academic phrases right now. Focus on the phrases that make up 80% of daily English conversations.
Think about common question structures. Do you mind if I? Or have you ever been to? Or common responses. I'm looking forward to it. Or I didn't touch that.
There are lists of high-frequency collocations available online too. Start with phrases like take a break, pay attention, keep a promise.
Those are the chunks that will give you the biggest return on your time investment.
Once you master those, your conversations will feel instantly smoother and less translated.
Now let's put our chunking theory into practice with some fun phrases.
This segment is where we focus on learning English phrases that are completely unusable if you translate them word by word.
Let's focus on 3 phrases related to effort, change, and understanding.
We used this earlier, but it's a perfect chunking example. To pick up speed.
Meaning to start moving faster or to increase your pace, usually in a task or learning curve.
If you translate pick, up, and speed separately, it makes 0 sense. But as one unit, it's clear.
Example sentence, I struggled with the homework at first, but after I started chunking, I really picked up speed.
It implies a gradual acceleration.
You're not fluent overnight, but you notice yourself getting faster.
That's the feeling we want you to have.
This one is super common in modern English, a game changer.
This means something that significantly changes the way a situation or activity develops. It's a revolutionary development.
It's not literally changing a sport's rules, although it originates from that. It means something new and impactful.
Example sentence. Using the functional flashcard hack we discussed, that was a game changer for my speaking confidence.
You hear this phrase everywhere, from business meetings to casual conversations.
Learning a game changer as a fixed chunk is key to understanding its meaning instantly.
Our third phrase is one we use all the time when learning something new, to get the hang of it.
It means to finally understand how to do something, usually after some practice, to master it eventually.
If you struggle with a new skill, you don't worry. You just need to get the hang of it.
The words get, the, hang, of, and it only make sense in this specific combination. That's why it's a powerful chunk.
Example sentence, driving on the left side of the road was difficult initially, but I got the hang of it after a week.
Or, in our context, chunking felt strange at first, but once I started using the phrase notebook, I quickly got the hang of it.
These 3 phrases, pick up speed, a game changer, and get the hang of it, are perfect vocabulary additions to your phrase notebooks this week.
Wow, Leo, that was a really deep dive into the mechanics of fluency.
It was, and I hope our listeners realize that fluency isn't about knowing more words.
It's about combining the words you already know into natural, reliable chunks.
Focus on collocations, fixed expressions, and functional language.
Remember our biggest takeaway. Be a user, not an analyzer.
Start simple. Use the phrase notebook technique today. Highlight full sentences when you read.
And don't forget to practice shadowing to master the rhythm of the chunk.
If you start learning just 5 new chunks every week instead of 50 new single words, you will see a rapid improvement in your conversational flow.
That conversational flow is what makes speaking English enjoyable, right?
Exactly. No more robotic speech for the English Blend listeners.
We encourage you to try these tips daily and let us know how they work out.
If you loved this episode on chunking, please like this video and subscribe to the English Blend channel.
We release new episodes every week covering real-life topics and essential language insights.
Next week, we're going to be talking about mastering small talk, how to keep a conversation going, which naturally requires lots of functional chunks.
It's a perfect follow-up. Don't miss it.
Thanks so much for tuning in and practicing with us.
That was a great talk.
Yes, see you in the next episode of the English Blend.